Welcome, everyone. This is Polyphenols, and you're listening to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in LOTRO and hear LOTRO players. And this week we have with us Terry Adwin, Warendis.
Hi.
Good evening, everyone.
And Krister.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. And the news for this week is that on Monday, the servers will be down because they'll be releasing update 29.5, The Further Adventures of Bilbo Baggins.
Yay.
One of the most famous of all the hobbits has gone missing, and it seems Bilbo's adventuring days are not just behind him. Speak with Celebrier in Rivendell, not far from the last homely house, to begin the further adventures of Bilbo Baggins, the first of our new story-based missions quests available starting at level 20 through 130. The Further Adventures of Bilbo Baggins is free to VIPs and available in the LOTRO store. Also, for a limited time, all players can get the Further Adventures of Bilbo Baggins for free. More information arrives on Monday, April 19th, 2021. Is this going to be something about the anniversary then that could allow you to do that? We have to find that out.
Maybe.
Also, completing all 10 missions will complete a deed that awards a title, Virtue XP, and tokens of Further Adventure, which can be bartered for level-appropriate rings, cosmetic items, and housing decorations. Tokens of Further Adventure will also be acquired by running the Further Adventures missions. Tokens are bound to account and go into your barter wallet. There is a cap of 500 tokens of Further Adventure.
Yay. I'm so over capped currency, I can't even tell you.
And also, the legendary worlds would be heading into the wastes. And that means that you'll be able to head out to the Riders of Rohan and fetch them, have the Battle of Pelennor Fields, go into Northern Ithilien, follow the March of the Kings through Northern Ithilien and the Ways, and of course, the Battle of the Black Gate. The legendary rules are exclusive to VIPs, of course, and you can learn more about that at lotro.com/legendary. And, of course, the anniversary. Thanks to you, we are celebrating our 14th anniversary this month from April 21st through May 11th. Players will celebrate the 14 years of LOTRO with the Anniversary Festival, milestone rewards based on how long they've been playing the game, and more. Among the new rewards in the Anniversary Festival are cosmetic torches that can be wielded by your character. The 2021 anniversary yearly gift will be awarded to your account upon the first logging into a character between April 21st, 2021 to March 30th, 2022. Thank you for your continued support to the Lord of the Rings Online. So, in other words, the usual spiel each year, you will advance your anniversary total. Whatever you got last year, you'll go 1 year further this year. And also, housing, for things that are news and note, is there was an issue with lost properties for many housing floor textures have been resolved. For items, simple carrying torches, consumable items, can now be bartered for steel tokens at any keeper of guest vendor. The face paint stencil consumable item available from Hobnanigans and the Buried Treasure event now trigger a consume consumables deed for use. The stencil items now have a 20-second cooldown between uses as well. The host of the West Quartermaster now offers housing music boxes, the Waste themes, and the Waste epic themes, and fixed some naming inconsistencies between item skills and cosmetic pet names on the Red Gecko, the Two-Stone Sheep, the Ashen Eagle, the Toffee Goat Kid, and the Mottled Kraban. And what everybody will have everyone cheering for NPCs, the Curator will be returning and will be available from the release of 29.5 through May 2nd, 2021.
Yay!
And as for quests and adventure areas, Woe of the Willow increased the Goldmark Damp Mold skill cooldowns, removed Misplaced Door and Trestle Bridge.
What?
Removed stuck location of Narhill, the Red Maid instance. Fixed render issues in Dol Guldur. Fixed resources in Lone Lands have been grounded. Oh, floating ones have been grounded, alright. The Hall of Memories dungeon and wallpaper floor have been updated to support per pixel attenuated lighting. And,
cool. I have those. They're really neat.
And adjusted the entrance to the second boss in Charcluche to better support encounter reset mechanics. And as for miscellaneous, the Legacy Game Client once again runs on Windows XP. And resolved an issue in the French client where mail replies could not be sent with the error le nom spécifique. Whatever.
The specified name contains. Yeah, it includes characters. Crap, I'm blanking on what that means.
What? Interdict sounds like it means interdicted. In other words, disallowed.
Incompatible characters or characters you're not allowed to use anyway.
And there are two known issues. First of all, occasionally a door in the Further Adventures of Bilbo Baggins Chapter 9 will remain unusable. This can be fixed by running back to the start of the tunnel and then running back to the door, which should become interactable at this point.
You'll be less of a hobbit than you were when you started.
Well, at least they're letting us know that this is a thing right at the beginning.
Remember to wear your Fitbit.
Oh, I thought you were saying to wear your to wear your foot coats.
Well, you know.
And also, an issue was corrected on our last patch relating to the quest Retribution of the Trees that prevented quest completion. This issue has been resolved for new encounters as of the last patch, but players whose characters were impacted by this bug will need to contact customer support in-game. Yeah.
There you go, Pine Leaf.
So I have to, at some point, be in a position where I could wait a long time for customer service. And that is it for update 29.5. And we also have with us the LOTRO Beacon issue 200.
Wow.
Whee!
Yeah.
I'd expected them to have a beacon with fireworks on it for the...
How much is 211s? It's like 7, 8?
I don't know. That kind of math breaks my brain.
You wanted to know how... In what?
11Ts. 11Cs. Yeah, I said 11Ts, didn't I? Sorry. 11Cs. That's a very important number in Middle Earth.
It's more like...
It's 11 Cs plus
more like
90.
18.
Whoa. I think that's too many.
Right.
Obviously not a hobbit if you think 18 11Cs is too many. And yet he's trying to shill foot coats to hobbits. Don't trust this man.
Yeah, there is that little thing. Let's then look at the community spotlight, where Louis 7 has updated his legendary items in Imbuement Guide. You could check that out on the link. And Laurel's Den has compiled work done to list and show all the unique rewards for the legendary worlds, and you could see that on the link on the Laurel's Den blog.
Oh, this is good because you can decide whether it actually is worth your time to plan legendary servers, and I can look through here and go, yeah, nope, I'm really not missing anything. Although that Beacon of Gondor cloak is pretty cool.
The annual spring concert, A Day at the Greenfields, takes place later this month on Belegir, Landroval, and Saranen. And you can read more about the event on the LOTRO forums, and there is a link provided in the Beacon.
I believe that's next weekend, so if you're listening to the brand new podcast coming out next week, you should still have time to make plans.
Right, that is next week. Now, that is the Belegir schedule, so
They
said that
it's usually the same weekend. It's just Saturday may be one or two of the other ones on the other servers.
All right. Well, then in which
Don't know
case
why you
it'll
didn't
probably
move
it'll have to be in 3 different days, it looks like, because that's a pretty long concert. So it's going to be on 3 servers. I'll expect that to be 3 days, maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or something like that.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, yeah.
Trollfinger brings you Songs from Another Age on Sunday on Landroval. That means if you are listening to the podcast version after release on that, it's probably too late on there. And also on Sunday is the TDs present Animals on Sunday on Landroval. And there's a link on that on LOTRO Artists. Finally, the Roving Theater Grand Tour of Middle-earth. Oh, the Roving Threat Grand Tour. I'm sorry, after all those concerts. Yes, the Roving Threat Grand Tour of Middle-earth begins on April 25th, and you can read more about that in the LOTRO forums. Link is, of course, provided in the Beacon.
A clarification. I was checking LOTRO Artists really quickly. The 24th of April has Landroval. The 25th is Belegir, which is what they'd linked to. But according to LOTRO Artists, those 2 next weekend. And then the 1st and the 2nd, both days, Saranen are going to have concerts. So that's the 1st and the 2nd of May. So the weekend after.
Very well.
So all artists all the time.
Yes. Then, let's get into our weekly comment. What does someone need exactly 200 of?
Well, I would say that someone would need 200 foot goats.
Why would someone need 200 foot coats?
Finally, if you've got to take into consideration all of the different designs that your foot coats can be. We covered dwarves, we covered squirrels and lathe bears, but you just hit the surface.
Yes,
you know that,
but why exactly 200 as opposed to instead of 250 or 150?
I have a question about foot coats then.
What did the birds say?
Well, I was going to say, are
Yes.
they foot specific or are they interchangeable for either foot?
Well, that's interesting that you asked, of course, because it can depend on the circumstance. There's, for instance, a homage to the movie My Left Foot. So, in that particular sense, we didn't feel it was appropriate to produce a right foot coat. But that's part of the plan with that. But, that's just one of many options.
Like socks. So if you lost one, you still had an extra.
Oh, no. In fact, our policy is if you lose one that is part of a pair, that you have to destroy them immediately, and you will get no refund.
Deal's getting worse.
Anyway, Mary Rose says 200 pies for the Shire folk neighbors, or be the epic story idiots in Gondor with all those nails.
No.
Oh, yes. All those nails.
All those nails, yes.
I'm not sure 200
That's
pies.
probably more than 200 nails, though. I mean, it was 2
I
crates.
was going to say, I'm not sure 200 pies would be enough for the Shire. Is that per day?
200 pies would be enough for, like, one Hobbit household.
200 pies per day. Okay, now I could live in a place like that.
All right. Anyone else have any grand ideas? Because I'm trying to think, whoa, because exactly 200 is what makes it really, really tough. Then let's head into the fan site news, where LOTRO Stream is your first stop to find LOTRO on Twitch. This week, Lady Faloran makes her channel debut. Wicked Eye Gaming goes on a quest of discovery, and Eldoleth levels a runekeeper. Also on Twitch, Zegog heads to Lone Lands. Valaruth gets underway, and Mega Ho Ho levels an Elven Minstrel. And over on YouTube, Hollyberry presents the amazing tale of Little Red Riding Hobbit. And Pineleaf brings you the tale of Tolwyn, and Ender Gamer Girl heads to the Red Pass.
Pineleaf? I know a pine leaf.
And Gamer Reverie delves into the Maravale. Would you want to delve into a Maravale? That sounds rather gross.
Well,
they're talking about, like, history and lore origins. Which, this is actually a really fascinating article.
Then our screenshot of the week. Well, Alamiran sent us this great screenshot from a recent 12th Bear Remerhant raid that was successful in completing the whole run.
That's awesome.
Stupid
You
bears.
can send in your
Stupid
screenshot.
bears. Stupid OP
You
for
send in
balls.
your screenshot by emailing to lotro@sainstonegames.com. Have fun.
looking at this picture makes me want to order a shamrock shake.
Shamrock Bears. And that's it for our beacon this week. Let's go and see what's on sale. What's on sale, Terry?
Actually, we have some good stuff on sale this week. As soon as I scroll back up to it. Our weekend gives you a plus 25% crafting XP. And, of course, we already talked about the curator's going to be available. A weekly coupon gives you a free fall injury immunity ×5 with the coupon code Watch Your Step now through April 22nd. I always love these coupon codes because Terry can always use as many bandages as she can get. Because every so often I follow Pineleaf for Sands and it does not always go well.
Especially Sands.
It's almost never my own fault that I end up falling over a cliff. Every once in a while, but it's very rare. Sometimes it's an oops. And then 20% off character slots, vet status, stat packages, and XP boosts now through April 22nd.
Whee!
We had a light week this week, didn't we?
Well, then let's head into our weekend gaming. Krister, what were you into?
All kinds of things. So, of course, we've been running Remerchant T2 sides, T3 sides for quite some time now. And we're starting to notice something coming out of the static of all the drops that happen. And that is that there is a massive amount of warding gear that drops in these raids. So much so that we firmly believe that we can outfit an entire legion of wardens in gold gear right now. So what we would like is for some non-warden gear to start dropping. So we can get some non-wardens geared up now. So if the Lords of Standing Stone are hearing us, less warden gear. More everything other than warden gear. Well, We'll just hook you right. Oh, I guess we can't trade it after. Never mind. Okay.
Right. Never mind.
Well, if anything, Pine Leaf, we can ash it in front of you. So we can at least show you.
So that I can cry.
It's the new cruelty.
And I've been trying my hand at Valheim on a recommendation. It's been a lot of fun, but it is a very, very mean game if you're playing solo. I've died so much in Valheim now that now it reminds me of raiding in LOTRO. So now I just got this burning humiliation growing daily. So on top of that, I'm still banned in Harwick. And so I'm getting really sick of it. All of my litigation has failed. So I'm only left with being able to just warn everybody and give everybody a piece of advice. If you are wearing any type of commemorative codpiece, do not go to Harwick, okay? I thought it was it's perfectly innocent. This was just simply a tribute to Boss Hogg from the Dukes of Hazzard. Somebody in Harwick got offended, and now I have been banned there from that place for years. So just don't do it, people, okay? And one final thing, of course, the anniversary coming up, I like to brag because I love it. I always love my favorite part of people trying to get credit over each other is, I was in beta. And so I just tell people now, I was in such an early version of alpha that it was real. And Guerre, what'd you get up to this week?
Well, Guarindus and the Captain started through the Wildwood. I have both guides for my hunter and have progressed through the main stories on either side of the forest for a few levels. I will say, forget the Rimmercant. I'm not a arachnophobic, but I do not like the ribbon set. It's too claustrophobic. It's nice and relaxing that I'm over levels, so at least they aren't automatically attacking when they pop out like a fun house. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the ribbon set. I don't like that spider area. In ESO, the Shiny Duo have become Covenant heroes today. That basically means we've done all the Alliance quest lines. And we'll be moving on to Cold Harbor after they both finish up the main quest. Whoops. Not sure if I'm really looking forward to Cold Harbor, but
But you won't have to do that public dungeon again.
This is true. Thank you very much. We will not have to do that dungeon again. Well, except for we discovered there were like 3 named boss that we haven't got yet. So we might run and try to find them one time. Yeah. Depends on how completionist we decide we're feeling when we're back again.
Yeah, okay. Let me know, because
okay.
I'll go along.
I have managed to tuck in another kinmate from LOTRO into questing in ESO. Whoops. Edwin, what did you get up to this week?
Well, I ran through Wildwood Quest with Terry. We actually missed our normal Tuesday run because Sans wasn't able to join us this week. But mostly because I have enough of those tokens to get the Return to Trestlebridge skill, and I was really tired of the takes forever slow trip to Trestlebridge. But you can't actually buy it until you get rep with the faction. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll go in and I'll do enough quests to get the rep. And then I got kind of absorbed in the story because it turns out I like the zone a lot better when it's not all trying to kill me. And I can just focus on the story.
I think...
So I actually did a lot, and it, minor spoiler, apparently you actually get to see Trestlebridge restored, which is cool.
Were you doing that the same day? I think, yeah,
yes.
The captain and I saw you there.
I think so. Yeah, the day that I ran into you guys. And I think you guys waved at me, but I don't know, because I actually have those emotes filtered out on Terry. I keep telling everybody, I have all kinds of emotes filtered. Like, if I actually catch sight of your character doing the thing, then I know that you've done the thing, but it doesn't actually ever show up in my chat that it's been done. And a lot of times I'm not paying that close attention to the screen. But yeah, and I also, because I actually ended up further down in the mines. So I was coming up as you guys were heading down into spiders. We crossed paths. And I knew this because I would catch defeat messages in my chat, and I was like, okay, well, I know where they are. It was kind of fun, actually. It was nice to see that area of the landscape outside of missions, because up until that point, I had only seen it in missions, because the other group isn't there yet. I also discovered that now frog legs are a thing in LOTRO. Which the other group also hasn't discovered yet, but I promptly got the recipe and I sent it to my cook, and then he made a bunch of frog legs. So I sent them back on to my hunter, who can share the frog legs with everybody once we get to that point. Because
what kind of
gotta
dipping
bring enough
sauces?
for the whole group. I don't know, but they're crispy garlic frog legs, so I don't know that they need dipping sauces. They sound really tasty, actually. And then, of course, missions. Ad nauseam missions. I am 2. So this is my last week that I need to do missions for the shards to get my stupid supply packs. So by the end of missions this week, I will have the fancy pocket.
Excellent.
On Terry Adwin. And then it's just, there's a reason why I don't actually play any other high-level characters. Because I can't imagine doing that again for more people. And in ESO, which is what we actually did on Tuesday, our Kashidi trio rescued another town in whatever area they're in, because I don't remember what area it is. It starts with a G, and it's not Glenumbra, and that's about all I can tell you. But it was cool, actually. The quest lines in ESO continue to be really entertaining. And that one was fun because I encountered an NPC that I had not met yet on that character, but Terry Adwin has tangled with him a couple of times, because she finished out the Mages Guild quest line, and he's a big part of that. And then, earlier, I think it was Sunday night, my baby Templar teamed up with Calabathian baby Dragon Knight, and then Cameral, another friend of mine, baby Sorcerer, and started at the beginning of Glenumbra, and that's really hard to find the beginning and not get distracted.
You're babies.
But I managed.
What are you gonna? Babies can't focus on anything. How the heck did you become a Dragon Knight? That's what I want to know. That sounds like that takes some focus.
It was hilarious. Oh my god, it's hilarious, because the first time Calabathian hit that Dragon Knight skill where the spikes sprout out of your back, she was like, what the heck just happened?
Oh, it's only going to get better. The Dragon Knight I run...
I keep telling you that. I'm like,
the self-healing skill turns you kind of transparent. It's the heart and the vessels coming out from it throbbing.
So much fun.
I can't wait till she gets to that. Nobody tell her.
Yeah, so much fun. But... yeah, so and it was some work trying to figure out where the heck the quest line actually starts for the zone when you're in Daggerfall, because you have 50,000 NPCs in Daggerfall that all want you to get their attention.
Do you know how long I've been looking for you?
Places. It's like prologue here and prologue there and prologue there, and dude, don't tell me how long. I just want this guy. And Swineherd is the guy we needed to talk to, and we tracked down a lost pig.
The hilarious thing about that is later, if you go into the inn and talk to the guy again, he'll say, "Big trouble, is it?"
No, I know. I had that. Yeah, I have to talk to him today.
Hello.
Yeah. So anyway, that was a lot of fun. And then more questing with Calabathian. In Star Wars, we ran our Sith characters through some of the initial Drummond Cass stuff. It's always a fun dichotomy to kind of run the two Sith classes back to back, because you get the off the wall, not even pretending to be remotely sane Darth Barris on the one hand for the Sith warrior, and then you get the kind of sort of pretending she's your friend but still really evil Lord Sash on the other hand for the Sith. warrior or sorcerer. So it's really interesting to see the pendulum swing for Sith craziness, because Sith craziness is a thing. But yeah, so that was my week. How about you, Pine
Warden, who defended the Ramis to conclude season 7 of my complete Pine Leaf series just in time, because season 8 will be probably starting sometime next week, because that's when we'll be heading into getting writers and all that. My main ESO character, my main solo ESO character, completed Northern Elsewhere. So it's the first time, because I've tried to do Northern Elsewhere with other people, but every single time we seem to break off. We never finish it. So I finally finished Northern Elsewhere, and I needed to do that because until I finished Northern Elsewhere, I could not continue with the main storyline. So I did that. So Abner Tharn was once again available for discussions. So I was able to then continue on with the main storyline. So I got all the way into there. I got all the way up to the Council of the New Companions and all that stuff. Wonderful. So I said, one more chapter to go. That's all I had to do. Mm-hmm. And then I know, brief summer child moment, of course. And then I arrive at the Hollow City. And this is when it falls upon you to say, this is not the end. This is the beginning of the end. And the end is pretty long.
So I did Cold Harbor.
Yeah, so I started Cold Harbor, and the last thing I was doing was attempting to do that stupid Moonless Walker quest where you're trying to follow this invisible guy that you have to touch these.
Oh my god. I was swearing at the screen for that quest. Like, hard swearing at the...
I'm starting to think that this is designed to be the worst quest in any MMO ever. At least that's my current opinion of that particular quest. Now, Azra, is this a mandatory quest?
I believe it is, because that's how you get into the tower where you have to rescue the one dude.
I'm sitting here thinking, I need to start saving up champion points and using it for the stealth detection thing.
I think... Well, no, actually, I think when you get to where you lose the guy and it says you failed, I think if you keep going on that trajectory, you end up picking up the signs again. Because that's what I ended up doing. Because I failed it so many times, because I'm like, I didn't lose him, he was right there. But yeah, you get to a point and he just disappears and it says you failed. But even if you've been right on his heels for the whole thing. I think it says you
failed if your stealth detection runs out. At least that's a pattern I see, because
it could be.
Because there are a couple of times where I hit the stealth detection thing, ran to a couple of mobs, had to fight them, and then the stealth detection ran out while I was doing that, and so it gave me the failure quest, even though I had not even seen him yet. So I think it's linked to that timer running out. And of course, he traces the way through as many mobs as possible in order to make this a real pain. So between going through all those mobs, and of course, you have to know the exact right distance to follow him, because if you're too close, then he hears the noise. If you're not close enough, you might lose him.
You can actually stay right on his heels, though. He'll stop for a minute, but then he'll keep going. When he's talking about the noise, he's talking about the rest of the forest attacking you. Because he's just dragged you through all of them.
Anyway, it's a pain no matter what. So, now the other thing that I was doing with this character is that I was working with antiquities. So I decided to see how far I could level up my antiquities. I had this lead that was expiring a couple of days ago. It was a advanced lead, I think, that was going to expire in there. So I wanted to get through So I decided to see if I could get leveled up to 5 so I could learn how to do advanced ones. And I just made it by a couple of hours in being able to do that. But now I'm able to do advanced antiquities without too much trouble at the moment. Now, I have to tell you that it meant spending a lot of my skill points to antiquity stuff.
Yeah.
But I do find that right now, for those advanced ones, for each one you find is worth a fight. Well, actually, it depends on, because advanced ones you can start having, but if you have the ones that are just treasure items to be sold, they're worth 5,000 gold. And I also got a furnishing from one of them that I found was a chair that I have sitting in my. I think I put it in the Rosy Lion. I think is where I have that sitting right now. So I have this. So I have a chair there. Plus, I got quite a bit of money between the intermediates and the couple of advances I found. So I had a little bit of fun with the antiquity system. And that takes care of my week in LOTRO. Then we also have, in news beyond LOTRO, Darren Lore Master has another tribute post. This time, this one's called Falling Doom, which is, of course, a tribute to Frodo and Sam at Mount Doom. And this is to the tune of Mortals by Wario. And this is mainly orchestral. Apparently, it's mainly orchestral at the beginning and the end, and that there's very, very short song portion in the middle. So he provides on the LOTRO Player site the lyrics that he has for the lyrical portion of it. And that's it for our news beyond LOTRO. Our top supporter this month is LOTRObuild.com. This is a collection of full LOTRO databases that includes an items database, a relics database, and a titles database. Also, you can use it right from your Discord server with a LOTRObuild bot. We currently have 16 supporters on Patreon, and if you'd like to join this illustrious array of players and help support LOTRO players, you could go to the donations page. You can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. Your money would be used for our podcast hosting, website hosting, and to pay for our live shows. If you wish to support us without going through Patreon, you could contact Drac at dracatlotrplayers.com. We did not receive any emails this week, but if you like this one, you can send it to podcast@lotrplayers.com. You can also follow us on Twitter. The Players Alliance at Players Ally, LOTRO Players at LOTRO Players, Arendis at Arendis, Pineleaf at Pineleaf Noodles, Sanswinda at Sanswinda, Terry Edwin at Terry Edwin, Guarendis at Guarendis, Calbathian at Calbathian, and Krister on a cloud. The Players Alliance has 2 shows on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. We have DDO Players, and on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have LOTRO Players. You can join our shows at LOTROplayers.com/live. And that's all for tonight. And this is Pineleaf Needles reminding you to skirmish responsibly.